Darci Lang has been inspiring audiences for over 17 years. Her unique, one-idea approach has motivated thousands of audience members to make changes in their professional and personal lives.
I have one simple idea, one simple tool I call focus on the 90%. And it's my belief that we hold an imaginary magnifying glass out in front of us, and we have choices on where we focus that magnifying glass, on what I call the 90%, the positive aspects of our life, or the not so positive 10%. So in our journey together, I have an hour and a half with you to ask you, what do you focus on?
Gentlemen, isn't your wedding day the happiest day of your life? Quickly, Jeff. No delay, no delay. Yes, okay. Because weddings are happy occasions, right? I wasn't selling funeral plots. I was renting tuxedos on the happiest day of men's lives. And I would have a guy come in and be rude to me. Because people grow up in homes where they think that self-serving retail employees should not be treated with respect. I never forget where I grew up. And I never forget that every single one of these tech guys, every single one of these banquet people belong to somebody else. And they will never forget how you treat them. I've run many businesses, and I'll tell you, when I call them in my office and say, Laura, you're rocking everybody's world. She says, they got a problem with me, and I got a problem with them. What's their problem? They rarely know that they're the problem. So what do you do with them? So as a besides shoot them. What do we do? So I've been challenged by this for years as a motivator. What do you do with people who are unhappy? So here's what I've learned. I learned that I can't change them. I can only change me. We go to these motivational sessions and we're totally motivated till at least tomorrow. And we put everything in the conference file. You know the file, the one in the desk that every conference you go home and you put it all in there and your intentions are good, and then we don't do it. So to carry the 90% theme forward, it's one idea, one concept. I have a poster on my office wall that I often recite to my friends from Tommy Lasorda that says, don't complain about your problems at work. 80% of the people who hear them don't care, and the other 20% are glad you're having trouble. It's kind of true. I was in Nurses Union Conference last year. 450 nurses and I would spend the entire day delivering this topic. I'd never met these nurses. They'd never met me. I was putting lipstick on in the morning in the mirror, in the washroom next to a nurse who didn't know that I was going to be the speaker. She looked in the mirror and said, are you here for the stupid conference too? Ha 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 ha. I just smiled in the mirror and said, I sure am. Like, what impression do we leave? But we come with our magnifying glass and, you know, I can actually see chips on people's shoulders in their energy. People come to work angry. They come to work with their 10%, and it ripples out and affects everyone that has to serve with them. How can we possibly motivate? How can we live our message if we aren't healing our own wounds? How can we possibly motivate others if we are not motivated? I know we know this, but are we doing it? Because what we focus on ripples out. It first affects the soul of the man and the woman, because now we question, are we making the difference we thought we would? And then it ripples out to our staff, because they can tell when we don't really truly live our message. And then it ripples to our clients.
You don't see a lot of running in service these days. Running by us, jumps in his paratransit vehicle, 10 minutes later he's back, we are captive. Magazines down, we watch him. Wheels out his second client, his second patient, this elderly woman who had to have been in 101. Wheels her past us, she's got her floral dress and her orthopedic hose and her purse clutched on her lap with her gloved hands, blue hair done to perfection. Wheels her past us in the waiting room, up to the counter of employees who look like they've never seen him before, and announces, excuse me, Mrs. Beechwood is here to see you. As if to say, give someone else's grandmother and the woman who built our community the respect she deserves. And he got down on one knee, took her gloved little hand in front of all of us in the waiting room, kissed her hand and said, gorgeous, I'll be back in an hour to pick you up. And he went running. We're all crying. Ah! I thought, what a choice he makes to get up in the morning and say, I can only control me.
Jada and John and I are shopping, and the woman that's helping me in this retail store looks so familiar to me. And her name tag is Janet. She's running around this whole retail store. She's playing peekaboo with my children in the fitting rooms, and it hits me. It's the teacher from the Teachers in Service. I said, Janet, what the heck are you doing here, helping me in this store? She said, oh, that. I taught for a year and I hated it, so I quit. Yeah, okay. So I said, good for you. It takes courage to quit something you don't love. She said, that is not what my parents who paid for the education had to say. So as I was leaving with my Jada and John, I said, Janet, one more thing. Thank you. Thanks for not teaching my children and their children with an attitude that you don't want to be there for the next 35 years of your life.